the same on the game. Hey, Donald Trump is your president, and if you like it or not.
We better get very tough, folks. We better get very, very tough.
The Trump train don't stop. Tell Beto to please come try to take my block.
For coronavirus vaccine, some major questions are emerging. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. A lot of people are wondering if the government could force people to get it. Or could people who refuse get banned from stores or lose their jobs? ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl spoke with a legal expert to get some answers.
Imagine a world where you have to get vaccinated and show proof to go shopping, board a plane, or just go to work. Legally, it could happen, says University of San Diego law professor Dov Fox.
States can compel vaccinations in more or less intrusive ways. They can limit access to schools or services or jobs if people don't get vaccinated. They could force them to pay a fine or even lock them up in jail. Those measures have been adopted in other countries like France, but not so far in the United States.
We just watched a video where they tried to show us a trial run at mandating vaccines, right, in a state. And they basically said, we're going to fine your asses if you don't take the vaccine. So how fine is that?
So a vaccine is coming, right? It's coming!
Vaccine is coming!
And I think a lot of people are like, yes, we want this, because they want all the other shit to end. Well, they want the lockdowns to end. They want the kids to go back to school. They want all this stuff, right? Which is like,
yeah, but all the snowflakes are like that. Normal people like me and you were like,
yeah.
How many people is this killing?
Right, and that's the thing, is that we should already not be on lockdown. There is like real data showing that we shouldn't be doing these things. But that's a whole nother discussion. Right now we're talking about vaccines.
But it's really not. They're telling you to take a vaccine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's deadly. It's like Bill Gates. People.
Shut up and stay inside until the vaccine's made, and then I'm going to force it on you because I'm going to make billions of dollars.
Shut up until the election happens.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
We'll tell you it's all good.
Yeah.
But by the way, bring this up. If we were to have the vaccine available today,
you want me to bring this up, or are you going to?
No, I'm going to bring this up.
Okay.
If the vaccine was available today,
yeah,
you think we'd still be wearing masks? We would, because it's all part of the election.
Yeah.
It's not like there's something in my throat. It's all part of the election.
So,
it really is.
Well, yeah, and I think people see that now because only blue states are closed and red states are open, and so it's like this has something to do with politics and not science, which is why people are getting so pissed off, right?
Right. And because it's all about politics, we're talking about putting a syringe into your body to inject crap that's going to be 50% effective at best.
So I think we should backtrack.
FDA's numbers.
The coronavirus is very serious for a select few people, right?
I was like, why are we backtracking? But
for the average person, the recovery rate is anywhere between 97 and 99.75%.
Yeah.
So that's...
Oh, and by the way, that's old people as well included in that, right? Very old people. Guess what the success rate is for kids, for children? 99.9%. Out to 7 digits.
Yeah.
1 kid, 2 kids maybe.
Well, and what's great about kids is we're seeing that they don't actually spread it to adults.
Right. But they're going to force us or try to force us to take this vaccine. And so what does that encompass? What does that mean? Force us to take the vaccine.
Yeah. What does
Can they actually mandate that? And what does it what does it look like? So it looks like what? Fines?
So on USA Today, just 2 days ago on the 11th, the coronavirus vaccine should be
mandatory.
Really today.
It's not USA Today. It's USA yesterday.
USA, yes.
USA yesterday.
A couple days ago. USA a couple days ago.
Last week.
Tax penalties, higher insurance premiums, denial of many government and private services.
Ooh, that sounds good.
They all ought to be considered for refusing the shot.
Okay.
Yes.
I see you, government.
It's anti-American not to get the vaccine.
It is.
And they said about 70% of the population will need to get the vaccine or the actual virus.
Every time I fly my flag,
create herd immunity.
I think the United States of America that I can have a vaccine forced.
When I hear the song, when it's like from the lakes of Minnesota
to the veins within my leg,
across the plains of Texas,
it's
from
so dumb,
mandated vaccines.
Bill Gates wants to love me. Yeah.
I'm guessing like Creed though.
Hell yeah.
So I think I think what's really interesting is the history of mandated vaccines. So a lot of people are like, hey, can we even do that? Yes. Obviously in the video it kind of touched on the Massachusetts case with polio. This dude was like, hell no, we won't go. We don't want the polio vaccine over here.
That's right.
And basically they said, no, you need to take the vaccine, and he lost. So that's now the precedence of state level can force vaccines.
And you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to try to take that federally nationwide.
Yeah. Also on Newsweek, there was a lawyer who was saying it's possible Congress could have the power to mandate a vaccine under the Commerce Clause because you can travel across state lines and get other people sick.
The Congress Clause?
So it can be federally mandated or at a state level, although I think it's a little bit stronger on the state level.
Which presidential candidate you think is going to say, we got to take vaccines? Trump or Biden?
Well,
which one do you think is going to force them? Putin.
And then Putin is going to tell Trump to because they're schmanging.
Yeah, and Putin was just like,
I have come out with my own vaccine now. Russia come out with own vaccine. We have released this afternoon. We will be mandating in our country as well.
We will be mandating. Well, they mandate everything in their country.
Yes.
So, because Americans are like, ooh, I don't know about mandated vaccines, mandated. There's this new Yale study, which is why I wanted to start this specific one on vaccines because of the Yale study that came out.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk a little about? You want to yell it? You yell it at me.
No, you yell it at me. Take it away. You were going on the roll.
Well, I like to talk anyway, and so this is convenient.
Yeah, so shut up and do it.
So they were saying, hey, a lot of people, again, 70% of the population needs to take this vaccine to create the herd immunity necessary to overcome the levels of, virus infections that we're seeing. So, with only a quarter of the population saying no, they're saying, well, we need to get them on board. So they created a study that said, how can we best basically manipulate that group of people into being more willing and accepting and positive about this?
So they're basically running some type of Nazi mind war camp on them.
It's an extreme way of putting it.
It really is,
I
though.
mean, yeah.
No, this is called propaganda.
Yes, no, absolutely.
And they're taking it to the extreme here because they're trying to indoctrinate people and use embarrassment tactics and other types of
anger, fear. They do different control groups. So, like, let's say you're like the anger group. So they're going to say, and they're going to see how you react and say, you're going to be so angry at yourself if you contract this virus and spread it to somebody else.
They're going to play on your weakness mentally.
And then there's other ones that are more fear-based or patriotic. It's your duty. Or there's one in here, the truth in science. You don't trust science.
But who the hell's in the lab doing this shit? Like, who's thinking about this stuff, dude?
They're just thinking about the different ways humans react.
Right. This is sociology 101.
Yes, it is. It's social psychology.
And they're mixing it with the vaccine right now, which is just so dangerous.
So they're studying the best way to basically pump this out on social media and
no pun.
Yeah, exactly. And try to get as many people interested and to take this as possible.
Right. But why would they even need people to be interested in it if they're going to force it?
Well, the other thing, too, is if it's super effective and it's a super scary virus, you think people would be lining up to get it and you wouldn't need to force it.
Bingo.
And a lot of people are going, hey, not only do I see, like, how much money is in this game, and so there's a huge motivation outside of public health, okay? Also, the way it's manufactured. Again, we talked about...
You don't have any supervision on that. You don't have any... there's no transparency on how it's manufactured, what is actually inside.
And then the trials itself are done by people who are biased. So it's hard for normal people like me and you...
And it's super monetized.
...to know what's going in our bodies.
And I think this is really important to harp on, but the flu vaccine isn't taken by a lot of people every year. There's a ton of Americans that don't take the flu vaccine.
Specifically adults.
Exactly. And yeah, there's a lot of people that die from the flu every year, but it's not a mandated vaccine. You don't have to take it. And we shouldn't have to take any vaccine. Because this is not any more deadly than the flu for most age groups. And that's a fact.
So Moderna is the company that's basically pioneering this new vaccine for COVID. And they don't have like the best track record.
Maybe like 0 hits and all that?
So all of everything they've tried to get out and FDA approved has failed. Not one drug has hit the market and been FDA approved in the history of their company. But yet here they are. We've got so much faith in it.
I wonder if there's someone that's like taken all the drugs that they've done,
Yeah.
They've like tried
They
them
just
all.
turn into like,
They're like, that one didn't work either.
They're not alive. That's why we can't meet them.
How are they still a company, dude? Like, they come out with all these drugs that just suck.
But their stocks have
Risen? Whoa.
There we go.
Yeah.
But their stocks have risen 270% since investing in this. Dr. Fauci, please tell us about this vaccine.
So the thing about the coronavirus vaccine is that you're going to have a low success rate, but I really think it's important for everybody to have a chance, especially if you're going to be going to baseball games and watching me pitch. It's a very, very entertaining scene.
Dude, I just love that when he threw that pitch. Did you see that meme? That was
Which
like,
one? There's like 50
he
of them,
threw
dude.
it almost 180 degrees.
He threw it behind him.
Yeah,
almost.
he threw it behind him.
It's like when you're trying to trick your dog and you just like.
Or it's like the
fake throw
softball
it.
pitch, but like you wound it and it.
Yeah, but it still goes forward. It's more like when you're tricking your dog.
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
yours
So
was
like,
better.
Oh yeah.
No, yours was better.
Yeah.
But
Dr. Fauci, he throws it and he's just like, what the heck? It's like at his feet.
But the meme was
what the heck?
The meme were like, at least he's consistent and he doesn't want anyone to catch anything.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought that was good. I thought that was good.
He wasn't trying to force his ball.
Bless Dr. Fauci.
He wasn't trying to force his ball on the catcher, dude.
I'm pro Dr. Fauci today though. Because
Why?
he literally was like, we should like vote in person. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
whoa.
that is weird, dude.
So
He's not typically for that.
This is the deal. I don't ever want to be somebody that's like, you're on this side or you're this side, so nothing you say makes sense or I can't. Like, it's like
Yeah, like if you say
issue
something
by
agreeable,
issue. Yes.
and we'll be like, hey, that makes sense.
There
We
are
like logic.
so many things that Obama did that I love. Like so many things that he did that I love.
Like the guy in Chicago.
Hey. Larry Sinclair, look him up.
Was a sexy
Steamy love affair. We'll talk about Obama on a different day.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't want to get canceled just
Mamba.
yet. To our 3 viewers out there, we don't want to get canceled. So, hi mom. So basically, we've seen like in France, and now we're seeing in the U.S. the push for a mandated vaccine.
Yep.
Obviously, under statutes in Congress and with precedents
But not
being
under
set.
Statutes.
Right.
Because those things are
there's
all
no more
down.
statutes. But under statutes,
Exactly.
we see that like we can very well be seeing a mandated vaccine coming.
Yes, and we will.
Okay, but this is the other thing that we talked about too, is there isn't enough death to warrant a mandated vaccine, in my opinion.
In anyone's opinion, it should be.
There's a
How much
ton
death
of
is
bad
there?
reactions right now
Yeah, I know.
to this vaccine, and most people fare very well, and their immune systems can handle it.
And most people should be at the fair very well right now.
So
because
a lot of people are
there's no reason to
asymptomatic,
be freaking out.
or like, why the hell would I go get a vaccine where I'm going to get these like
Yep.
weird reactions when
Again.
I won't feel anything? And they're like, well, save your grandma, right? But
But
grandma
again,
can get vaccinated, right?
It comes back to the flu. We don't force vaccines for the flu.
Yeah.
The flu kills more children and more people in lower age groups than this coronavirus does, and that is a fact.
And I'm not anti-vaccine. Like, I see the pros and cons of vaccines. I just think it
course.
should be one of those things where we look at it objectively and go, is this something that should be mandated? Do the,
The benefits outweigh the costs. I got you.
the people that have the most power and money are the ones making this and have the biggest skin in the game here when
Yep.
they're saying
Biggest skin, dude.
they have the
That's
biggest
foreskin. They got foreskin
Oh,
in the
gross, dude.
Dude, come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Nasty ass Corona hands all over your
Dude,
face.
I don't have corona.
Yeah, you do. You look like a freaking
I do have
coronavirus,
chocolate
dude.
raisins,
Got
though.
some spikes coming off of you.
So, but
Nasty ass. Look at that, dude.
But that's the thing is, it's like, I just don't see the vaccine. Like, again, if this was freaking Ebola, as deadly as Ebola is, but then as contagious as the coronavirus is,
Yes, and that's why I said
I'd be like, dude, like, let's get it. But you wouldn't have to force people to get it because they'd want to get
they
it.
want to. Yeah, even if an Ebola vaccine was like 50% effective, I'd still be like, dude. I mean, as long as the other 50% didn't kill you for like it not working.
We will inject Ebola into you.
Right.
May the
Some
strongest
of you
win.
may die.
That is Bill Gates too. Some of
Yeah.
you may die, but that's a sacrifice.
No, but like most of you may die.
Yeah, all of you may die.
But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because I'm not going to take it.
We're like screaming and putting it so
Yeah.
close to our mouths. I'm gonna have to edit this so much.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
We ain't the same on the game. Hey, Donald Trump is your president, and if you like it or not,
We better get very tough, folks. We better get very, very
You know the
tough.
Trump train don't stop. Tell Beto to please come try to take my Glock.